Greetings, adventurers, and first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Dan from Fantastic Books Gaming. This is the second update for the Oakenwild Expansion to the Gorgon's Loch Kickstarter, and thank you very much so far, adventurers, for getting us to 33% funded before the first 24 hours is up. So, it's been brought to my attention that if you didn't back the original Gorgon's Loch Kickstarter, you won't know what the expansion pack is for. So, here we have me looking over the artwork on the box of the Gorgon's Loch, the base game. It's a game for 1 to 5 players, so it has a solo mode, aged 8 to 108. So let's see what I've got to point at here. What comes in the game? Well, like most games, it has a lovely glossy box with a efficiently designed by Matt Healy plastic insert. And what's in the box? Let's see. A rulebook. Rulebook's very important. It's a very simple game system called the Storm system that I devised myself based on standard 6-sided dice. So there is a rulebook. We have 5 character cards and 5 standees to move around the dungeon. Each of those characters has a specialist skill as well. There's enemies, of course. So there's 40 individual enemies in the Gorgon's Loch. There's some goblins. I think we've got lots of skeletons and skeletal bowmen. These are harpies and wild hounds just got added to the pile there. What else have we got here coming? Oh yes, that's the Queen's Guard. And quite powerful. A couple of lichen hall walkers. They're very powerful indeed. There's a golden statue on its little yellow base. And of course the Gorgon Queen herself. Where do these things move around? Well, we've got a campaign booklet with 6 individual dungeons inside. And they show you exactly how to set the dungeon up and what is required to complete the dungeon. So there's the campaign booklet. And how do we put these pieces together? Well, we have individually created board pieces, all modular, with a variety of different things on them that are very clearly explained in the rules, how to put them together. There's the start room, for example. There's another little vestry room, and I think the kitchens are coming next. Finally, we've got the very big piece. This is the Great Hall, the fire in the middle there. How do we fix them together? We use a lava bridge connection like this. You get 13 of those in the game. And that allows you to connect things in a variety of awesome and interesting ways. This is how we track the health and action points of our heroes. We have a beautiful red crystal cube to track health points and a similarly beautiful translucent blue cube to track action points. You get 5 of those to go with the 5 characters. And there's the cubes to go with them. Next comes, well, let's see. This is death markers. Every character comes with 3 lives, so 3 death markers. If you get killed, you lose a death marker and go back to the start of the dungeon. Of course, there's 15 of those. That accounts for 3 death markers for each of the 5 characters. There's also board chits like the white lock there and the black lock, and there's some various magical gemstones holders and the Gorgon scale there. These are all board chits to aid you on your way. What's in the dungeon? There's 100 cards in the search pile, and that is the content of the dungeon. That's everything good and everything bad. All the enemies, all the treasure, all the traps, all the magical scrolls, everything you're going to need to complete the dungeon, and everything in the dungeon that's going to try and stop you is in that pile. We use standard 6-sided dice. You get 6 of those in the base game of the Gorgon's Loch. What else have we got going on, Dan? These beautiful wooden painted heart tokens. This is to track how many health points the enemies have remaining when you spawn them. It's all very clearly explained in the rulebook. So there we are. That is the content of the base game of the Gorgon's Loch. What does the Oakenwild expansion add? Well, of course, it adds 2 playable characters, Hjalva and Hjolven Oakenwild. There's the 2 standees. Of course, all this artwork is placeholder at the moment, so you get 7 new enemies. That's 1 bandit leader and 6 bandits underneath him. with their resultant standees. Again, I must stress this is not anywhere near final artwork. This is just for testing. You also receive similar board chits to help out with the campaign, and you also receive a campaign booklet with 6 full dungeons in it, and you get 14 extra search cards. Of course, these search cards and enemy cards will look identical and will shuffle straight into the enemy and search piles. And finally, you get the beautiful Oakenwild home, which you can probably guess that artwork isn't finalised. But you also get a huge board piece there of the Oakenwild home. It's the same size as the largest board piece in the base game of the Gorgon's Loch. Thanks very much, guys. That's what you get.